Before we delve into the question about the most important skills and knowledge, let's explore the second circle, personality tendencies. Personality tendencies are aspects that many of you have explored through various methods. You may have checked your personality tendencies through fingerprint biometrics, where high scores indicate which direction your personality leans toward. Additionally, there are many other methods such as physiognomy, astrology, Western zodiac signs, and modern assessments like DISC or MBTI. All of these are tools that help us better understand our personality tendencies. Why is understanding our personality tendencies so important? That's because personality tendencies are directly linked to our talents. When our personality tends toward a certain direction, our talents usually develop strongly in the corresponding field. Let's take the difference between introverts and extroverts as an example. If you have an introverted tendency but are pushed into marketing or sales jobs, the results are often not favorable. Introverts typically perform best in environments like laboratories, research work, analytical thinking, or programming, fields that require focus and independent work. Conversely, an extrovert who is confined in a laboratory all day will feel restricted and unable to realize their potential. They need to work in environments such as sales departments, marketing, or diplomacy, places where they can freely communicate and interact with people. Therefore, understanding your personality tendencies is the first step to properly orient and develop appropriate talents. When we place ourselves in the right position and environment compatible with our personality tendencies, we have more opportunities for success and feel happier in our work. Vietnamese education has a noteworthy issue. It only focuses on the fourth circle while overlooking other important circles. The third circle remains unaddressed. The second circle isn't mentioned, and the first circle, core character, has been forgotten for a long time. Instead, the education system concentrates on subjects like civic education, political economics, party history, and Marxist-Leninist philosophy with the expectation that this knowledge will shape human character. However, after 40 years, the results seem disappointing. Character appears to have drifted away. Current society focuses on training from the third circle, continuously directing inward. The main effort is to train learners to complete this third circle so they can work, receive some knowledge, and gradually move deeper. Notably, many people spend their entire lives in this third circle, studying here for over 10 years, growing up and working here, then ending their lives here without ever progressing deeper inward. The sad thing is that many people grow old without ever understanding which profession truly suits their personality. They accidentally end up working at a bank and try to continue that job until retirement. Or someone might accidentally go into commerce and maintain the same shop their whole life, even passing it down to their children and grandchildren, without ever truly understanding where their talents lie or what their dreams are. They never have the opportunity to explore and understand themselves clearly. Not being able to reach the second circle is already an obstacle, so advancing to the first circle, core character, becomes much more difficult. So, what is the right training approach? It is to train from the inside out rather than from the outside in as we've been doing. Everything must start from within and develop outward. Character needs to be taught from an early age, and understanding needs to be nurtured from the earliest years. Just observe children. They are always curious and continuously ask why about everything around them. Children's exploratory instinct is very strong. They crawl under beds to examine each wooden slat. They're curious about spinning fans and want to reach in to see the operating mechanism. They're even attracted to electrical phenomena at outlets. All of this shows that children's observational abilities are incredibly powerful, and intelligence is innate from birth. However, we often forget this. We apply rote learning methods too much, leading children to gradually lose their ability to observe, analyze, and synthesize. When children observe but don't receive explanations, they continuously ask, "Why?" And adults often become irritated. "Why do you keep asking?" Just tell me if you're going to eat, then shoving a spoonful of rice into the child's mouth to stop their questions. But in reality, this ability is already inherent in children. In terms of morality, children learn through imitation very easily. From a young age, if parents set good examples, children will imitate and develop positive moral values. And as for effort, the ability to make small efforts, to try a little harder, children are also very strong. You'll notice children climb mountains much better than adults. They can play soccer for hours without getting tired, while adults are exhausted. Try playing with your children and you'll see them running continuously without getting tired. All of this shows that, from birth, children need to be trained from core character first. This is the solid foundation for developing the outer circles naturally and effectively, rather than the reverse as in our current education system. We often forget that valuable qualities are already present in young children. Instead, we constrain them with rote learning methods, causing their innate intelligence to fade away. Adults don't model moral behavior for children. When children want to be active and playful, which are natural activities that help them develop, we prohibit them. All these things have killed children's core character. After that, we try to force knowledge from the outside in with phrases like, "Study, child, study so you can make money later," or "Study, child, study so you'll have a profession." As a result, throughout their lives, children only remain in the outer circles without ever touching the inner essence. A regrettable and disconnected life. This fault belongs to adults who lack understanding about proper education from the inside out. So how does our school system's inside-out training method work? It involves integrating core character into each external element. Specifically, when teaching knowledge, consider how to incorporate morality, intelligence, and perseverance into that content. For example, instead of just providing pure information, we can teach children through stories about great figures like Tran Hung Dao, Li Thuong Kiet, Pham Ngu Lao, or Laloy. These stories don't just contain historical knowledge, but also conceal lessons about morality, wisdom, and effort. Similarly, with skills like soccer, running, swimming, instead of treating these as purely physical activities, find ways to incorporate core character. For example, with swimming. First, encourage children to enjoy swimming. After some time, teach them to dive. Next, teach rescue skills. When children learn how to rescue others, morality is formed, helping others. Rescue work requires effort, endurance, and willpower. And finding ways to safely rescue both the victim and oneself requires intelligence, effective rescue methods. Thus, from a simple swimming skill, we have integrated all three elements of core character. With this approach, skills are no longer merely skills, but have become vehicles for nurturing and developing core character. This is comprehensive education from the inside out, helping children develop harmoniously in both character and abilities. Similar to skills and knowledge, we can also integrate core character into children's personality tendencies. Each child has different personality tendencies, and we can utilize these characteristics to develop core character that suits their natural disposition. Introverted children. They enjoy research, being alone, and reflection. With introverted children, we can provide books and comics about great role models for them to read and contemplate on their own. Afterward, encourage them to present what they've learned to the class, an activity that helps develop communication skills while still aligning with their introverted personality tendency. For extroverted children, they enjoy communication and activities in crowds. With these children, we can assign tasks to share good principles, possibly researched by introverted friends in the group, with other classes, with the outside community, or invite other classes to participate in good deeds. Through this approach, each child develops according to their personality tendency, while still incorporating elements of morality, intelligence, and perseverance into their learning and activities. This training method of Tuiduk is not simple. It requires a professional and meticulous working process, with activities such as classroom observation, trial teaching, and continuous improvement, so that each lesson not only conveys knowledge but also incorporates morality, effort, and wisdom. So how has Tuiduk organized its teaching content? Do you know we divide it into main clusters to integrate core character into each field? What comes first? It's the STEM cluster, isn't it? Mathematics, physics, chemistry, computer science, and science, all grouped together. Do you think teachers need to be extremely proficient in each separate subject? Not necessarily. What's important? It's the ability to teach flexibly, knowing how to present content in an understandable and profound way. Teaching math means knowing how to teach physics. Teaching physics means also knowing how to teach chemistry, as well as computer science and science too. Mix everything together, do you see? Students don't require teachers to be outstanding in each subject, but what must they do? They must make lessons understandable and increasingly profound. What's the second cluster, everyone? It's literature, history, geography, civic education, and biology too. Mixing everything together into what subject? Into ethics, similar to core character. Think about it. What is biology? Is it just studying organisms? No, it's also understanding how organisms function, mature, and live harmoniously with the universe. From there, we can incorporate morality, living in harmony with nature, understanding cause and effect. What about geography? It's the growth and expansion of Earth, the contraction and expansion of land and water over years that forms geography. What is history if not humanity's journey through time milestones? Do you see? This way, each subject is no longer simply dry knowledge, but has been imbued with the values of core character. Isn't this an entirely different approach compared to traditional education? Do you see the potential to develop well-rounded people from the inside out? In the 4 training circles, most of us forget the 2 inner circles, the core character circle and the personality tendency circle. Some lucky people manage to reach the second circle, working in alignment with their talents. For example, Trin Kong Son, a person who breathed music naturally. Just a small moment, like the image of a girl walking under a house eave and then disappearing, was enough for him to feel and transform into the immortal song, The Old Beauty. Such people work based on their true talents. But do you know the transition phase from skills to talents, from purely work to true passion, often occurs between the ages of 35 to 45. This is when many people quit their jobs. From 20 to 35 years old, we mainly stay in the 3rd circle, knowledge and skills. But when we enter our 30s, 40s, we begin to realize that although these skills help us earn money, they don't bring true joy. We start to question whether this work truly matches our talents and personality. This is when many people begin to explore themselves more deeply, wanting to step from the 3rd circle into the 2nd. And this is also the stage when many people quit their jobs, around the age of 40. Regardless of high or low salary. If you don't quit your job at this stage, there are 2 possibilities. Either you've already entered the 2nd circle, or you've slipped completely, never able to enter, and will grow old and die in your career without ever finding your true self. When entering the second circle, work becomes more inspiring, more passionate, more aligned with one's personality. But after a few years, many people feel bored again. Why is that? Because they lack the first circle. Their core character isn't solid. Have you ever come home, closed your door, and felt lonely? Or when sitting before a vast field, suddenly feeling emptiness in your heart? That's when you lack depth of mind. Everyone has these seeds already in their mind, but we've let them sleep too long, not awakening them. When feeling bored and empty, men often go drinking and have coffee, while women go to hair salons, spas, and shopping. But do these things fill the emptiness in the soul? No, they're just temporary solutions. If you continue repeating these actions endlessly, when it becomes too boring, it can lead to tragic consequences. This is why many models, actors, famous singers, people who succeed early, having tens of millions of dollars at age 28, 30, easily fall into a state of emptiness. They've touched all three outer circles. They have talent, have acting skills, have knowledge through formal training. They reap money too early, but their innermost circle is weak, so they develop feelings of boredom and loneliness. To fill this void, they go shopping with tens of millions, buying freely without ever running out, but still feel bored when they return home. They go to nightclubs, come home still bored. From there, many fall into addiction, heroin, even suicide. This is the consequence of lacking the first circle. They lack the core, but keep shopping and drinking to fill it. Useless, not solving the problem. Correctly identifying the cause of the problem is a sign of someone with intelligence. When I was just a graduate, I also went through a period of feeling empty inside that lasted about 2 years. Sometimes while working, I would feel this emptiness without understanding why. When I asked friends, they often advised, just go drinking. But I never liked drinking. Instead, I would often take out books to read, and fortunately, the books I chose were very good, very profound, like The Essence of Ancient Learning, a collection I read extensively. Unknowingly, I already had the 3 treasures in my hands without realizing it. At that stage, I hadn't studied Buddhism much. When I was just over 20, I only read through it briefly, didn't understand much, and then put it aside. For 2 years, this continued, reading without clear understanding, then setting it aside. But the fortunate thing is that I had unknowingly touched the 3 treasures without recognizing it. Whenever I felt bored, I would take out the Essence of Ancient Learning books to practice reading. Just reading for about 1 or 2 hours would make life seem fresh again, naturally feeling happier. Therefore, I want to share with you. Whenever you feel bored with life, take out books to read, especially books written about great figures. After reading, you'll find your boredom immediately disappears. Because these exemplary figures had tremendously strong will and perseverance. Just by reading and absorbing a small portion of motivation from them, you have already succeeded. This helps us visualize the importance of the core character circle, in the 4 training circles. It truly is the foundation for everything, the source of strength that helps us overcome the emptiness and boredom in life.